Hey, what's up? What's up? Baseball, and music. Like I said before, no Bonds, no Chef, no Rose, no Clements, none of the guys. Baseball don't really, until they get the right guys on. Happy birthday! Yeah, happy birthday to you. I remember you saying that, and I forgot that the date came up all quick. That's a great age. Congratulations, man. And believe me, some cats didn't make it that far, so that's a great age. Happy birthday to you and the best, and everything that you've been through. More than anybody, the Lord is blessed. Because never take nothing for granted. Because there's been got to treat every day special. I don't want to say Cincinnati in the Super Bowl start of '89. So that particular time period stuff got taken for granted because it felt so romantic. Boston was getting. Yes, great talent back then. Jordan was coming, but there was a lot of great talent back then. So you know, so far they put points. They had the highest scoring game against the Denver Nuggets 40 years ago. So that was crazy. When Skip Bayless had the audacity to say he's got a chance to be like Nick Saban, I said, in what regard? The Super Bowl, but he already had a successful NFL career that hadn't won but was known and big, and then he sealed the deal to the Chargers. Uh, Saban, what Saban did was smart. Final four, and then he bounced. Justin Herbert, I was trying to say, he did is that Saban did team makes him look even greater because he got out with kind of wondering, could he have done it again? Think about how deep they got against Michigan, who ended up Washington did. He get embarrassed like Belichick. Belichick getting interviews by Central Michigan or uh, no, got to Alabama. It doesn't care who has Belichick worked with that blew up in the NFL. Please tell me who. Romeo Cornell didn't charge four cats off the top of his staff. Got to a Super Bowl. He didn't win, but he got to one. So he already proved he can. It's like Dave Wanstead sucked. Urban Meyer sucked. Nobody Belichick has worked with has really and blown up. Okay, but what have they done? That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, starts talking. He can't win there. He can't win there. I mean, the problem he runs into is that you can't play for that. When you what LeBron faced with the Lakers, with Anthony Davis, when you play, all you got to do is come and win. You got to win. This ain't like the Houston Texans. This ain't like Cleveland. This ain't like even Cincinnati. Well, I can name you teams. You could be Dak Prescott, and they'll you. But you play for Dallas, and you bringing them numbers. You got to. You don't go. That's how they play. You know, you'll be hanging out with Danny White and Tony Romo. Well, he tries to sling it. I mean, he has a strong problem. Though. Sometimes he just doesn't read off the what his reads get him, especially on them corner reads. That's how he gets in trouble. A lot of his interceptions are just he doesn't see, the man, and it's easy to his left. I noticed a lot of his bad picks, and then he gets caught trying to thinks that's going to offset it. If he played anywhere else, it probably would. But when you play for the Dallas Cowboys, man, they're watching you. They're coming after you like a pack of wolves. They just wait. They smell you, and it's just a matter of time before they just pounce on you. So that's the problem he's running into. That's the problem, you know. So that's the problem I see for him. He's gonna have a hard time. Hard time. It's gonna be a long season for him. Long season. So that's a good question. Two things are worth. Great question, but two things worth. He read success with Mahomes because that's 3 Super Bowls to one. He is better than you, but that's success. And the other one, even hurt, runner-up Super Bowl. Those two things is the worst things that could happen to McNabb. His former coaches have him crazy. The team with another black quarterback, kind of similar too in a way if you think about it. I think Jalen got a little bit better arm. We have to debate that, but those are two things that could work against him. And the way things didn't go all the way for him, and he's kind of forgotten. He's kind of like on the bubble if you think about it. And if he has to wait 10 more years, he might not get in. Especially if Jalen ever wins one of them things or gets back again, he might not get in. Jalen, that's my thoughts. Disagree if you want to. I think some theory to that. Yeah, well, that ain't got nothing to do. I mean, you grow up, go to work, you put your whatever behind. But um, the biggest thing with that is that he like that you got to deliver, and he ain't oblivious and he ain't blind and dumb. He knows who he's playing for. That's the Dallas Cowboys. So I can't give him no pass at all. He gets gotta bring it. Gotta bring it. Gotta bring it. Don't bring it, you don't win. That's the thing. So they got a chance. They got a chance. They got a chance. If they can keep the game pretty close and they don't get caught getting the Dallas game, which cost them a bit, can you got a chance. Create a turnover, you got to get them punting the ball, you got to get special teams, you got to pull out the arsenal because they were beatable last week against Green Bay. Like I said, LaFleur comes with a little bit better plan. Year two of season, you win that game. I hate to tell you that, but yeah, you could have beaten them. They were very vulnerable last week. They look way more vulnerable this year than they did against Seattle last year. Because Seattle last year, they took them a half. They got and they spanked Seattle's behind. They didn't have that luxury against Green Bay. So that was a dogfight. So just saying. And we don't know if Mahomes went against the Rams. We think they would. We don't know. It's how to use that. But so um talented. And I think that if he wins 4 or 5 rings, I think he would be tied with him because he doesn't have to win 7 to pass him. You don't always have to win the equivalent. See, their arguments, people use that your individual take. I think it wouldn't take away Brady's dominant. Brady would still have 6 rings. So, you know, that's just the reality of it. Brady was that great talent and was big. That's the scary part about Brady. 49ers lost hurt one final minute. When you say 49ers lost hurt, it's hard to say because they were two different. They had two different situations. I mean, if you talking about Roger Craig and with Jerry Rice and John Taylor, are you talking about, um, with era of Montana? Um, Actually, that's a good question because I'll put it to you like this: common than Mahomes and Brady do, because the comeback ability, the coolness, the poise. It's a good question. I am going to say, I am going to say, but Mahomes ain't never Rice or Roger Craig and a Ronnie Lott and them guys. So I got to give it to Mahomes. Or from my ways to triculate and simplify things. So if I could take that back to that era with him and for you might call him Liberace. I mean that. One thing he got on my mind, there were certain teams that could take him out, but is resilient and he's tough. So he could have been Mahomes. Great matchup. The Marx brothers and Tyreek and Kelsey. Um, Skill set. That's what gives him skill set. Now Marino had the better, quicker arm release, and he was strong. But Mahomes' overall game. That's what got Mahomes ahead of these guys. That's what I keep going back to because he has a skill set, maybe hardest skill set that I've seen in a quarterback position. Of course, you could ask me, you could throw Michael Vick against Mahomes because Vick could move against Mahomes. I think Mahomes missed it. It's kind of like a Steph Curry thing. Them circuit shots and stuff that he does. Yeah, he was more clutch than Marino. But make no mistake about it, we just talking about game. Defense was kind of competition than what he had to go through. Longs. But it does pay to have clutch, not clutch. Yeah, but the thing about it with his slinging is that back though. I mean, like he's Pardon me, I just had to switch something to get more like on. I never feel like he puts himself in danger where he can't come back. Like the difference between Mahomes' slinging is different than say Josh Allen's. Could be down 2 or 3 touchdowns. You still think he's got a chance. I have not seen it considered about a lot of other guys. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it 100. He's got that rare innate ability. He's rare. He's rare. He's rare. You know, I am blown away by certain things that he does. He is just that good. That's a great question you asked me about if he had been on that Frisco team because his style, with the way he moves, and remember it's still Steve Young in '88 when he was more athletic than Steve. Arm to get what he ended up getting. 6 straight AFC championship games with the success and the stuff he does. You're seeing something special. So all I gotta say about that. I don't. It speaks for itself. Will. You talking about Andre Griffin, the one that just got fired, accused of assaulting a young woman? If that's what you're talking about, because then I'll address that. I ain't heard nothing about it. I ain't heard nothing about Adrian Griffin, but if that's what you're talking about, I need to get some more clarification. Okay. Yeah, that's what I need to know. I need to know if that's who you're talking about. Then I'll address that. Because if that's the moving him now after the fact, but then it'll kind of be like a low end way they was trying to get him up out of there. Low hanging fruit. But okay. I hadn't heard nothing about it. And I can't really say the reason why they let him go, but they use him anyway though. Because of Dame Lillard. And some of it's Dame because Terry Stout came over from Portland to Milwaukee to coach with Dame and they got into it. So it's a lot of things going on. So it's kind of hard to point the finger and say, hey, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a mystery. Well, the real mystery and reason is why was he fired in the first place? Because if you got almost 20 games over 500 and no, fired him. I mean, I can tell you why. East. Miami has proven to you the last 3. I'm going to tell you what ESPN and them other networks won't tell you on this channel right here. I'll tell you right now what they won't tell you. No one trusts the East. No one believes the East because the East is not that strong. Now, for where you can say a team is contending in the Celtics forever, okay? Obviously, for all the hype that Tay Brown, Joe B gets, Giannis get, Miami and Jimmy Butler, Bam always there. Well, the NFL is the most hatting place right now. Let me get done twisted about it. Nothing sells like the NFL. Um, Baseball makes more money. It's got the hype. But having said that, though, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have Kardashian with Odell and Kelsey and Swift. I don't know who Brock Purdy and Jared Goff got. Okay, just saying. But it's gonna be politicking. You know. You know. I don't think that's what's gonna come down to. I think that You know, I think both teams belong, and I don't see anything that would tell me otherwise. Just don't. Let me turn some light on. You keep on talking. I'm listening. I don't see nothing that would say otherwise. As much as a conspiracy theorist as I am, I don't think there's anything that would say otherwise. So, all right, let me get this thing back. Okay, I'm back now. Um, I don't, I don't have much to say about Kelsey like that. I like him as a player. I know what I heard, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you. Him and Taylor because in the middle of his career and he did this. But, um, I can tell these are things. You really think he's got the Wayne Johnson crossover? He's gotten bigger. Is he bigger than Punk? That's gonna be interesting. Is he gonna be big as Shannon Sharp? That's gonna be interesting. We will see. It is a joke, Wilbur. It is. Um, because it is embarrassing. I mean, they're going very good. They're not going to the great. I know it was a Mueller got in, but Todd Hilton in Colorado. I mean, come on now. And Adrian Beltre I can see, but I'm not blown away by none of them. P Rose got he should be he's a diva. He didn't really play well. He didn't really distance himself from what and him and Josh fell out. And there was a lasting effect from the sidelines in that loss to Cincinnati a year ago. And he tends to kind of outwear his welcome, but Josh didn't bring it. So there was an you miss plays. Four is cute, but you done lost to this team two previous times. You had them on your home floor. You did not get the job done. You let them you in the mouth, move the ball on you. What it is, Ted, you called it. That's it. The rosy picture. And you come to respect Pat Riley. Why you come to respect it done? Because guys don't know how to finish up. McDermott is, and he got out coached. This one is a clear example not to lost. McDermott was on my hot seat. Josh Allen was a second, third year quarterback. Not you need you need a coach that's got some ego and some age. Carroll can't really do nothing with them at this stage because Carroll likes to catch the misfits, the guys that no one else wants. It's kind of like a Larry Brown syndrome. He gets off on that. There's no everybody wants everybody on Buffalo. I don't think so. I don't think so because it's a AFC Championship game. I don't think so. They got further than they did a year ago. I don't think so. I think I think next year it's hot seat. If they had a loss to Houston, I'd say hot seat. He's going to be an MVP and playing at a high level. He gets a pass. That's who I think's in the hot seat. Because if you want my opinion, you had Garoppolo, Trey Lance, all them picks. Now you got Brock Purdy. Got a guy like McCaffrey who's the MVP. The difference, though, is defense. Steve McNair kind of overachieved. Josh Allen position, Now he did have Eddie George back as running back. But Leslie Twisted, he ain't Eddie George. There's other things that are better that Fisher had or the Bills had. The quarterback spot, McNair overachieved. Therefore, there's some the similarities, but that sinks the ship. Yeah, he is. He is. That's why when I had to think back off the top of my dome. That's one thing I give old Fisher Price. They got a lot off of McNair. Everybody couldn't have coached the McNair. And camping that whole mess. That mess was embarrassing. How that ended. But don't do anything more, then I will come back to you, Wilbur, and I'll co-sign what you just said. If they keep his behind around and they don't get to a Super Bowl and they do this 2 or 3 more years, Eddie was bad. Eddie was bad. Between that and having a wife that's got fingernails that go from here to Texas and not getting your back scratched up and run over Ray Lewis, yeah, you a bad man. Think I don't know about the SWV. But yeah, yeah, you know. But that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah. There's no reason that if they don't do something, what You asking me musically or look wise? Because it's two different questions at work. The SWV was attractive because you know about Chili. Chili was the groupie, but everybody they didn't have a pick. Looks wise, I gotta give it to. Oh, it's close. TLC had groupies though. TLC had a lot of groupies. So I guess slight, just a nod, because Left Eye had a lot of groupie love. Fiery things, pun intended. Musically wise, TLC and a blow. Then they got what's up, JB? What's happening, JB? Great question. I don't like neither one of them. Two Archie Bunker white boys who I feel that are using black. They're using black folks, pimping agendas, and it's controlled show by others. It is controlled. It's government control. So it's not even close to me. So I'm sorry, but I don't be feeling no two Archie Bunker type white boys. Get your comments, and I think hope I answered it. I can't stand neither one of them. Shaka Khan in the blowout. And if you know me, if you know how I am about music, like when we talk music, like I talk about sports and debates or stuff, uh, I got the better catalog, better range. Mariah sing a lot of Mariah's material just doesn't for me like that, And Shaka could take it to the stage. It's not even close for me. Not even. Mariah is a crossover dream, like, but Shaka got songs and just like a woman, but no one's shuffles and bucks so much. I mean, if he's in love, more power to him, but I don't care which no one will believe. That's about the only way you might kind of believe his story. He'd have to have about two or three and pull a Hugh Hefner or put down the magic wand. Ain't nobody believing Tim Scott. He too tender. And he just soft and simpish. It's like a John Legend thing. You ain't buying him as some Mac Daddy. And he don't say nothing and do nothing. So he's corny. Not believable. Not believable at all. Just a bought brother. Barry White, in terms of the overall depths, I listened to Barry White more. I had the voice, but Barry had the music that I bumped to more. Barry's musicality and arrangements and the production. Even though Luther was strong. And it's a big time fight because it depends because Luther, but I don't know what she did. I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. I haven't even done a video about it because I'm not really invested in it. I might make some comments. You might catch me make a comment here and there. I didn't even feel like doing a video about it because he's a cornball brother. Some Carlton Banks doing that white dance. And he just, it's just kind of like he was never a threat. Who sat around worrying about Tim Scott running for Republican consideration? Who? Who? He never had a chance. And DeSantis, I have to take you serious, or at least think that you're legit. I'm sorry, you know, just I mean, Tim Scott boasting and bragging about doing something. When commercial came on TV with that fake police badge, okay, come on now. But he do look like him. He do remind me of Mushmouth. I hadn't thought about it, but I don't pay him no mind. He too corny, too corny. And see, being a corny politician is like being and there's only 4 places to go, and you already did last. That's what he's like. So I don't waste my time on jive turkeys that I know they don't have a chance, a snowball chance. Time. Can't do nothing with it. Can't do nothing with it. So I'm sorry. I mean, if you're looking for me to get a rise, me talking about Tim Scott, because he's dead weight. Dead. He would be lucky to be the local, be the second deacon at his church or something. But well, yeah, because that's what he is. I mean, he's a brother that got in the right place, right time type of thing. And I mean, he's got something going for him, but I just don't feel him. Sometimes you just see somebody and you're like, "Yeah, okay, you know, it can be like a music artist. You name me somebody that you kind of just see them, they've been successful or something, but I'll give you an example. She's big. Like I see her on Rolling Stone cover, and she done movies and music, but I don't remember nothing she's done. I know she was in Hidden Figures, and she was in that Midnight movie, Moonlight. But there's nothing that she's done that I sit there and go, "Oh wow," you know. So I don't get impressed by just people just being there. Gotta have some talent or something. Yeah, because they know they're just acting in front and they're just faking the phone. I hope that the relationship is worthy for him. I mean, I hope he gets something out of it. I hope it ain't just a political, you know, photo op. But no one's taking him seriously. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You know, he just tries too hard, and you know, but that's the game he's in. Politicians overdo it, and when they bow out and try to smooth stuff out, it's like we just playing, we're just going through the motions. You gotta remember all that talk they talk, just like DeSantis, so I just don't take him seriously. I'm not gonna eat at him because it's too easy. Like two has no chance, and like was it alphabet WXYZ, like a W level tier level candidate politician, which is basically non-existence that you off the boards because he will charisma than him. And that dude, you take him to Dunkin' Donuts, he'll light up like with a jelly donut. So he ain't got more thought. And that's what gets his butt in trouble. And he'd be lucky he don't get in trouble for scheming and scamming. But Tim Scott was not going to beat no them. Well, yeah. I hope you felt that way at 16 and 20. You'll feel that way. You know, keep that changing. But when these cats are politicians, they all play to the camera. That's the way it goes. And sad to say, that's how it goes with your music entertainers and your athletes and your ministers who get some limelight too. Sad to say, that's how it goes. They definitely bucking for Q. That's why I don't trust none of them. I love my entertainers for what they do or athletes. However, you don't really want to hear what they got to say. Not what you think. A lot of it. So, well, he been bought and paid for. I mean, you gotta remember something. They've had money on him for so ever and a day. And how you think he gets all them sequels? You know, how you think he gets multiple sequels? And that's why I don't listen to what Cat Williams got to say about dissing folks, because he's been in Ice Cube movies. Hello, just like Chris Tucker did. Hello, Kevin Hart. Hello, sitting in the passenger side with Bernie Mac. Hello, Cedric the Entertainer did. Hello. Only Steve Harvey didn't have to sit in that car ride or be in that same vicinity with Cube. Think about it. I'm gonna stop making sense for a minute. You tell me how impressed you is with Cat Williams talking to Steve Harvey. I mean Shannon Sharp. They all was in that same boat. With Terry Crews in there too. And it ain't but so big over there. Okay? Hollywood ain't but so big. I watched Judge Joe Brown when he said, and I agreed. He was the first who made sense to me when he said it's just like TV wrestling. That's what it's like. Cats talking about what they gonna do and how soft you are and all that. They all in the same boat. If you get a Netflix check, somebody else gonna get one. They all in the same boat. Round and all, not being round, because Ving does some TV commercials make his bag, but I'm talking about Van Diesel. It's all the same. Ludacris, the rappers, all of them. Bought and paid for. LL too. Jay-Z too. Lil Wayne. Think about it. People play dumb on TV because they are actors. It's studios. Okay? Remember, Hollywood owns studios. It was an acting building before it was a music building. End up doing it. Okay? People used to clown MC Hammer, but Hammer came out, was strapped and more tougher than what a lot of these cats be doing. It's a lot of acting going on. Lots of acting. I'm going to tell you what I feel straight up on these streams and on my channel. Sometimes I say it in my video, sometimes I don't. They'll try to give me a curve with these YouTube streets. Sometimes I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. And I told you what I think. I give him props to Orlando Brown. Before Orlando Brown told you, Albie Sure was tougher than Joe Beck. Explain that to me. Explain it to me. Explain that to me. I need to know what that means. Just want to see what that means. Explain it. Because I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know. Well, he wasn't that talented. I like him a lot. He did buck dance, and I'm gonna tell you how. The whole thing with Andre Harrell, the whole thing with Puffy, the whole thing with Kim Porter. Now, he was bought and paid. He was bought and paid by Quincy Jones because he won the Sony Music thing when Night Day came up back in '88. If you know this, because you weren't born yet with that whole alleged situation with Tony Jackson's sister and him, and he had a case against him, and then it got dropped Al B. Sure had some heat, which Puffy pretty much adopted. It's a twisted story. So he was a bought off paid production. Just like I think Christopher Williams is his cousin. And he came out singing and stuff like that. Be the bearer of bad news. You know, he got to pay Barry White, Elder Bars, James Ingram, basically doing Michael Jackson's part. That brought I'll be sure. And I do believe they was trying to silence him because he's been mysteriously sick and stuff. But he was never an artist's artist. He was romanticized, you know, considered a sex symbol type art. And I like look, Night and Day was one of the coldest songs. There was actually back in the day, you were either Team Al B. Sure or you were Team Keith Sweat for a minute. Now, in the bigger picture, Keith Sweat blew him out the water in terms of a career, even though vocally speaking, you know. Now that one I will tell you about. Coolio was underground, crossed over. And remember in Poetic Justice, he oh, you got to answer me what you mean by Team R. Kelly. I'll answer that. But Coolio had a crossover career. They were actually gonna make him like a hood version of Hammer, because he sampled all the, and he had movies and soundtracks and all that. But they did cool his career out. His career did cool out when he won his award. He was big for a moment, and you know, R. Kelly, do tell. Are you talking about with young girls, or what you gotta elaborate? Tell me what you mean. I'll answer that. He didn't do fruity activities, but he did. They all sold out to a point, you know, because obviously he had a commercialized whole thing with Lakeside. I mean, once all that thing hit with Fantastic Voyage and other stuff, white folks was in on it. And I remember like 30 years ago. So he did cross over in a big way. He had to push to have some of his stuff played with Poetic Justice with him and Tupac. He did cross over. And then of course with Gangsta's Paradise and all that with the white folks. He crossed over, but they did hold him up. R. Kelly in the blowout. Musically, it's not even close. And I agree with Bootsy the rapper for the last 30 plus years. Not for the whole body, but if we go from the 90s to now, ain't nobody touching R. Kelly. Songwriter, producer, he did the whole nine. He wrote anthems. His remix. I mean, it wasn't even close. Musically, it wasn't close. Keith Sweat thing. We love the first album than the one in '96. There's strong R&B base. Al B, the first album, and that's about it. We liked a couple songs after, but that was it. But R. Kelly, come on, man. R. Kelly, you got to go with the greats when you talk about seeing R. Kelly. Just saying, regardless of writing and producing for others, but Babyface's solo track record ain't seeing R. Kelly. He was peerless. That's where R. Kelly's debate is. None of his peers. Because his peers were D'Angelo, Maxwell, Brian McKnight, Joe. Okay? And if you want to throw Mary J. Blige in there and his track record. Yeah. And a very talented cat. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if you ever seen his DVD. He did a classical performance. McKnight could go night and day. Vocals. He's a sellout, though. And I don't care for him personally. But musically, one of the baddest cats you're going to hear. He really embarrassed himself. He might even got Tim Scott beat if you knew. I don't know if you up on what Brian McKnight on the personal side. It got and he had that freaky song he tried out 12 years ago, How It Works, which was funny, but no one has really sweated it. Still puts on a live show, still tough live. Oh yeah. So what happened, right? He disowned his black children from his ex-wife. He married this Asian girl. You go to Instagram. I think last name too. Oh, he because you yeah he's really pathetic. He's really pathetic. And he used to whip wife. Yeah, he talking about the kids and they had a baby with this new one. Oh, I choose to remember him as the artist that I remember, which I do. And we don't have these discussions because Brian McKnight doesn't come up in my because I don't get into the personal like that. Until thanks to you mention it today, I hadn't even thought part about, but yeah, yep. And he didn't sold his name. He flipped, man. He flipped. he you gotta laugh when I mean it's that it yeah. He almost makes Tim Scott look like Farrakhan. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. But again, one of the most talented cats can sing, could write. But he never was the same after he got busted by Michelle and Deatello for Anytime. And he wrote the same songs. He had his, but God, like I said, one of the most talented cats musically, like King Cole and the Whitney thing, vocally, and could play. Because I used to watch his show. He would play, musically, pretty cocky cat though too. Cocky cat. But on the personal side, oh, he's all the way sold. He's gone. Please don't do it. Actually, I saw that highlight of Vin Baker dunking on Giannis. He was down there with Hakeem. There's a video out. There's a video out there where he still got some hops. He still got some spring in him. Vin still got some spring. But Vin cornball, but nothing. The McKnight thing is on some Clarence Thomas, Tim Scott, Terry Crews, and a whole lot of other brothers who just sold out. That's what that's on. That's Vin played soft and he did it to appease, but there's a difference between McKnight and Vin though. But yeah, Brian is sad. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, you saw that video. I saw that video too. Yeah, well, he still can move. He can still get up. Well, he was a political move though for Sean Kemp though. But you know, you know, he had a decent career. He had a good career. He was good, you know. And you halfway take care of yourself and you got some hops. There you go. You're a funny man. Kyrie and the Jew, that whole thing with Jews and everything, ain't no way in the world. Because the owner is the Heat is Jewish, even though Kyrie him wrong, he got pegged. He got pegged. And plus, he's injury prone. He's drama diva prone. I like him when he plays, but he's on his last legs with Dallas. He messes this up, they're gonna ship his butt to Toronto or to Atlanta or some Saudi Arabia team. That's it. You know, will he be scary with Jimmy Butler and Bam if he comes to play ball all the way? And he's a good brother, like I said. He's got, but sometimes he doesn't basketball in his main thing. If Riley thought he was the next coming dude, he would. He don't feel him like that. Kyrie. Even though I like KJ, but Kyrie could score. You know, when a guy can throw 50 something James on his team, they seen Kyrie put crazy points. KJ was nice. And you can make the case KJ's a Hall of Fame and all that. But Kyrie with the handles and the scoring ability, come on now. Kyrie came off of when he was coming off the pro and came off from off his crib and dropped 35 to 40 points. That guy can play. It's scary. If he had KJ's mindset, he would rank higher if he thought like KJ did. That's a good analysis. And I love Strickland too. Billy, and also there are times when he will be in the mood. And that's why I knew him teaming up with Kevin Durant was not going to work. And James Harden too, because that's three stooges right there. Who's going to be the leader? You know, and who's going to make it count? So I knew that was a dead end. But talent wise, yeah, he's one of the most skilled cats you ever going to find. But you asking me two different things. It's kind of like when you ask me certain things about certain quarterbacks, certain places, you know. But I love the Mahomes and Montana one, you know. But this situation, KJ is one of those guys that he was a great talent and player, but you know, there's politics involved with that. But Kyrie's skill set when he can score and do what he do, that's you know, you know, that's a good one right here. This is a good one. Let me think. I got to give it to Big Ben, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think they both overachieved, but I think Big Ben utilized his components better. I think Favre, they both had nemesis. Obviously, Pittsburgh with New England and Favre with Dallas. But I thought Big Ben got a lot out of what he had. Favre, for all them MVPs and what he was doing in dominance, it didn't translate. And if we go by acclaims as a solo, it's Favre. And if we go all time to some people, it's going to be the most they within the team concept. I got to say Big Ben. Because even though they lost, they were in AFC championship games. They did go far. They had games he had fight. Favre a lot of times was erratic. And I don't think that they quite got everything out. Whereas Big Ben did get the three Super Bowls. So Favre's two. 2-1. Favre's 1-1. And I just thought Ben had a chance. He had a chance. So I got to give it to him. Far as the more accomplished quarterback, but if you're asking me who I felt moved me more of the two, I'm gonna give it to Big Ben. Or would be the answer. He'd be the correct answer as far as if you're going by the accolades and stats. But if I'm going by what moved me more, it's Big Ben. I think he got more done. And I know that all things being equal, you know, because Favre to me let a couple things slide. He just didn't finish up. LaDainian. Ricky's on has got a big I around his name. He showed me stuff in Miami more so than New Orleans, but LaDainian, uh, league MVP, big time back. Even though he didn't do much in the postseason, and that's the only reason why it's kind of to match some of the stuff he did in regular season. And I can't put him upper because he had a better situation. Ricky got better over time, but I think LT got him beat. Okay, that was a good one though. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, and I do like I said, I do like I give Tomlinson that edge. But yeah, the Ben and the Favre and the Ben one was a real good one. I know probably going to show some people off guard. That's a pretty good one. I like where you're going with it. It was successful. If Tiki don't fumble so much, he'd be up there. Ricky fumbled too, and Ricky was pretty arrogant. They were arrogant in different ways, and it worked and it worked. Probably got to give it to Ricky because when he went to Frisco, I mean, he fit in. Um, he did some things that I like, and he was good. Tiki's one of those guys. He was good, very good, but then a lot of things got in the way. I just think Ricky gave you a little bit more. I think Ricky moved me a little bit more. But it's a good argument. It's definitely good. But I think if they both play at equal footing and you get the fullness of their career and there's no distractions and the fumbling and all that, I think Tiki probably would have gotten him. But I have to give it to Rick. I'm gonna dis Harrison was clutch. And though I know he played with Peyton Manning, he just did everything right. He's almost like the Tim Duncan of receivers. It's a shame that because he was so low key, except for the episode in Philly. But anyway, uh, except for when he Marvin was was a beast, yo. I mean, you could make the case he's top five, six ever. Julio Jones is more of a freak of nature. Julio was like a broke Randy Moss. Incredible feet, but I don't think we got everything out of him. And now to see him in Philly is kind of like at the end of the road. It's kind of like you got Julio Jones about 5, 6 years past the pull date. Marvin Harrison retired where you still thought he was great. He left while he was great, unassuming, incredible stats, first ballot Hall of Fame, etc. And you still didn't even really realize how great and how lethal he was, the things that he would do. Julio got more skill set, but Marvin got everything else that I'd want in a receiver and a playmaker. So I got to give it to Marvin. Underrated too. But playing with Peyton Manning, Reggie, if he had Reggie Wayne's out and saying more about Marvin, but he was low key cat. But make no mistake, don't let the silence and low key ever fool you. Bad boy. Boy. I'm going to go with Ross too. I just think Rod did a little bit more than Sherm. You know, guys could actually throw on Sherm. Sherm had it going on for a moment, but uh, Woodson just moved me a bit more. You know, he moved me a bit more. But it's a good Q&A with that. You know, Sherm did some things that I like, but I think Woodson gave me a better body of work. You know, so I got to give it to Rod Woodson. Rod was one of my favorites. He was in Baltimore. I forgot what he ended up in a couple places, but make no mistake about it, he was bad. This is a good one here. Now, might surprise you, but I gotta give a slight little edge to Torrey Holt. I think they don't get a enough enough. Yeah, this thing is saying I'm live now. It's acting funny. I don't know what's going on with this thing. This thing was acting kind of funny. Um, you asking me, um, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne was bad. They get enough. I don't think they get enough. They did, but Kurt Warner and them. I don't think they get enough. I don't think he. I think Torrey Holt is. Reggie Wayne was tough and as strong as you and everything he did, but I think Torrey Holt's been forgotten. And I'm glad you mentioned him. Glad you know. Because I think that, it's a shame he was in players. People just don't always give guys their due. But I have to. Holden was kind of like a later version, remind me of Art Monk. Big, strong guy. Andrew Johnson could fly down the sidelines. Underrated with Houston. And I always said he's didn't get would have been something. I think I'm gonna go with Anquan. Our strength. I think he moved me a bit more. But it was bad though. He had a little cornball head, corn. When Houston actually got good, I remember that game against Knicks. They just always lost games they should have won. And ball didn't get the edge for me. Anquan really came a big. He gets forgotten too. I gotta get to Anquan. I think he was a special type of receiver. Mm-hmm. And to move me just a little bit more. So I'll look at it. Um, and I think it's close. It's not that far, but Irvin huge, battle tested. Aikman came up with some big plays, but Irvin was the one that set that whole thing up more so. Fitzgerald, I really appreciate him even more with Kurt Warner and thereafter. But I think Irvin is one of those guys who definitely playmaker. He came up big. Fitzgerald, Mike Irvin was considered a playmaker. Irvin moved because I don't go around thinking that Troy Aikman is one of the ever, and I'm not sold on him. Smith as a top five back. I think Irvin is there. That's more consistent with it, to me. So, you know. But I like Fitzgerald a lot though. He's one of the greatest receivers ever, you know. And I have to think about a 10 to 15 range. Like you can make a case top five ever. And Fitzgerald is probably like that 10, 20 circle. There's a difference. Because Irvin came up big. And he was a great player. Hmm. I don't know why this thing keeps out. Sometimes it says I'm live. It says I'm live. It was on preview, so. All right now. Ooh. Hope everybody's still around. I ain't heard nothing in a minute, so we're gonna see everybody went. Okay. Where'd it go to? Waiting for everybody to come back. It's been quiet, man. See if anybody got anything to say. I'm waiting. These things be kind of acting up, so just waiting. see nobody lately. If anybody got some questions, come on, feel free. Um, I'll give it another 5 minutes. I don't know what happened. Am I gonna come through? I don't know what happened. I just think everybody kind of came and went. Give it a couple minutes. Sometimes I don't know if it's the wiring or anything. We'll see. Because if no one don't say nothing in the next couple minutes, I'll have to. This thing just kind of went down. But anyway, on my regular videos tomorrow, with the Milwaukee Bucks. I did my video already about Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. It'll be coming out soon. Anything to talk about, you know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've had a pretty good chat, for the minute. So I'm gonna give it a couple more. I was scrolling around to see what else was happening. You are in the world. So see what I got. Okay. Go relief from there. Tomorrow, see what happens. But yeah, it was good talking it up, chewing it up. Like I said, what happened. Just lost their communication with everything, and then people, I don't know if it's the circuits or anything, but come back and do it, and hopefully we'll conversations. Like I said, I did get to talk about the baseball stars and chill. Hope everything's going well. Stay safe, stay warm. With everything going on in the world today, keep you cool, you know, we'll go from there. So, if not, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. So, see if this thing clicks back. Somebody says something. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute, just says two. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the system. If anybody's on, feel free to say something, ask a question. 5 minutes. And I don't know if it's like what's going on with the trajectory. So, right. So somebody came back again. Sometimes I keep getting this thing where I see a person on, but until I see extra question or response or something. Okay, so all right. I don't think it's gonna budge today. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. But anyway, I'll catch you. I'll be back tomorrow. Definitely during the weekend. So everybody be on. We'll be doing it again. Stay safe. Be cool. The best. Peace. I'm out.